You're probably gonna get notification. Madeline is here. Dan, Jessica. Oh, hey.
Morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. Good to see you.
Hey, likewise. Hi, Bob. Good to see you too, and everyone.
Yeah.
Hello, Dan. I'm happy to see you. I've got so many good friends out in the Southern California. There's Jessica. Very happy to be part of this event.
We're glad you're here.
Hi, thank you. Okay, now it's 8 a.m. sharp. Shall we wait for a few more minutes,
A
right?
few more minutes, yeah. We kind of
Yeah.
wanted to start at 10:05.
I see one of our faculty members is here, Sudhakaran, and I see Harold just joined.
There we are.
Hmm.
Nice to see everybody.
Hi, nice to see you.
I hope everybody turns on their cameras. Dr. Ghosh is here.
Rodney is here. So, Ron Wasserstein cannot be in person. He has to attend memorial service, but he sent a video. So I can just drop it in chat because I don't know how audible it will be, but I can, we will listen to it. It's just a couple of minute video.
But his is after our talks, right?
It's whenever it is, yeah, it is after I'll have this agenda right here. I'll make sure everyone talks on time in the right order.
Okay. Yeah, I promise I will be within the limit.
Yeah. No, we were worried about, too many people talking, but if it's informal, that should be fine. And not
Yeah.
everyone has slides, so it's okay. It will be fine.
Yeah, usually the moderator can jump in. I mean, in case somebody talk too long, then the moderator can jump in and say, okay, time's up, next. Yeah, in a conference, and somebody will hold a sign, 2 minutes, 1 minute, yeah, and then just thumbs up, next.
Well, that's why I'm glad I'm at the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should be starting, I guess, because we should
Okay.
start exactly. Alex should start talking at 10:05 exactly. So we're here for the kickoff, and we're celebrating our 100 years, which is, we're the oldest, we're the first. Washington chapter was the next, right?
Mm.
They already posted something in Amstrad News, but we were the first. Okay.
Mm.
So our current president, Chong, everyone calls him Alex. Alex, you are in Hawaii right now.
Yeah.
Operating from Hawaii. And
Yeah.
so here you go. You talk 5
Okay.
minutes.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I promise I will not talk too long. And so we have the agenda. I don't have to read every item on the agenda, right? And rather, I just want to share my joy with you. We are 100-year old. We are old, yet we are young. Old in a sense, we have a long history, but young in a sense, we are we keep refreshing ourselves. We keep reinventing ourselves. And so you may wonder, well, you say we are young, but we see the same old repeat every single year. Actually, we do have something new, and now we are active on social media, and we have Facebook channel, we have YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel is fairly new. Well, just 1 day old. Yeah. So I start the 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 association, our chapter channel. Can you see my share screen?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So here is our association channel, and right now not much. They're only free video, and you may wonder, well, Alex, all are your video, so you are abusing your power to use association resource. Well, not really. Actually, I have my own channel. So here I post a video about data analysis, data science, AI, and so on. This one is specific to all of you.
Sorry, Alex. I think someone else is sharing their screen. I think I see Ernest Scheuer is sharing their screen. So we're not seeing your screen, Alex. I think you might need to reshare.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. That's
Okay,
good.
now
We can see your screen.
Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah, so okay, where am I? Yeah. And okay. And now what you see are all my video just because they are ready. So all these are my talks in the past event. However, now we are in the progress to edit, to process the recording of other past events. I think Anna Lee has some video. And also from now on, we'll record our workshop, seminar, conference, and so on. If you have resources, you are welcome to send to me using a share drive, and I will post the video. We are a community, and now we have the channel, we have the media that we can share our insight, our resources every single day, anytime, anywhere. Okay, so that's why we are open, we are young, because we keep refreshing. Okay, I think I have used up my 5 minutes, so I don't want to continue. And so today we are fully packed. We have a long list of talk on the agenda, and without further delay, so I will unshare my screen and let the next speaker share the screen.
Thank you, Alex. So Bonnie is here? Yay, okay.
Yeah.
So Bonnie, let me introduce you. You were like 119th ASA president in 2024. Okay.
Thank you, Olga and Chong Ho. So grateful for this invitation. You've introduced me, but I'll just say I'm Bonnie Ghosh. I'm the 119th, or I was the 119th ASA president. I work in public policy, actually based out of Rand in Santa Monica, and it is my honor to be here today. So happy birthday, Southern California ASA chapter. Congratulations. You are the first ASA chapter to reach 100, quite the milestone. So that's amazing. A big thank you to the leadership and volunteers who have contributed to the success and longevity of this chapter. You truly are a role model to other chapters. So I just took a few minutes to reflect. I won't go over every word. Maybe there's one too many words, but just to mention for those that are new to the chapter or just logging in for today, it began in 1925 when the Los Angeles chapter became the first ASA chapter, and it was recognized as an official chapter. The LA Times actually wrote about this chapter, announcing the formation of the Society of Research. It was the first statistical society of this kind or chapter of its kind, so it was quite noteworthy. It's also home and community for many professional statisticians in academia, industry, and government, which are the main three sectors of the ASA. So it's a vibrant, functioning community representing all of, I would say, the statistical base. Then I looked a little bit at your present in 2025, and gosh, there's a lot going on, which is exciting. You hosted the annual Applied Statistics Workshop. There's a regional data visualization poster competition for high schools, grades 10 to 12. And there is the famous ASA DataFest, right? A collegiate data analysis competition. And you also host a career sort of event. So I think that's amazing. And again, a big thank you to the leadership and volunteers. I wanted to step back for a second. Each chapter is really a part of ASA and thinking a little bit about what is our collective vision and mission. The vision of the ASA is a world that relies on data and statistical thinking to drive discovery and inform decisions. And our mission, or the mission of the ASA, which is really us, our community, is to promote the practice and profession of statistics. And I think this chapter sort of embodies that vision and mission and that spirit, and you're doing a lot to inform society about our contributions. I wanted to take a few minutes today just to kind of both reflect on who we are as a community, what it means to be a statistical community, and maybe one thought on the future. So I see that Bob Rodriguez is actually on the line today, which I didn't know you'd be on the line. And this is a quote I've been using. And I just wanted to acknowledge the contribution of the everyday statistician, how important we are to society. And so this quote resonated with me by Bob Rodriguez, 107th ASA president. Every profession has heroes, but our profession, that is our statistical profession, has an extraordinary number of heroes. And he goes on to say that he believes this is true because our discipline is the most unselfish of the sciences. It improves human welfare, not by its own ends, but by its contributions to all fields. And I think this is really true of our work today and going forward. And we have really important contributions and foundational contributions to the fields of data science and AI that are exploding in today's world. So thank you, Bob. Speaking of superheroes, I wanted to quote one of my superheroes, or one of my heroes who was my mentor, the ASA president just before me, the late Dion Price, who was a leader at the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. And her quote really resonates in my work and what makes me a statistician and be a member of the statistical community. And in her speech to the ASA, Dion had this to say. She said, "What inspires me is being able to use statistics to make a difference in the lives of others. This is an honor and a joy." I want to bring up another quote by the 104th ASA President Sally Morton. She's a mentor. She worked out of Rand Santa Monica. Looking to the future, I think that I see our profession sort of expanding its role and exploding. In this time of big data, and I work in evidence-based policy requires big statistics. This is what Sally had to say. By big statistics, I mean statisticians need to be involved early in the process of design and data collection and communicate with other scientists, policymakers, and journalists, and acknowledge politics as part of the mix. And this quote resonates with me every day as I work in public policy. So much politics, so much science, and statisticians need to expand their footprint. Now, turning to you, the audience of this meeting, I just want to mention that a community succeeds when everybody's active, engaged, and involved. So join your community. Get involved in your ASA chapter, section, interest group. You have a lot to contribute. You are the reason that we exist. I encourage each of you to volunteer through mentoring. That's a critical role we play. Mentor today's statistician, the future workforce. Speak to a class or in a career fair in your community. Start an activity that resonates with you. Start an ASA book club. So I encourage each of you to find your community. So congratulations again, Southern California ASA chapter. I hope you have many, many more years of success. Thank you for this honor.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you. Okay, so Jessica, you're up next. 111th ASA
right.
president. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try to share my screen here. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So thank you for the invitation. Interestingly, you just got a new member last night because I'm a life member of ASA, so I don't get renewal notices every year, which means I don't get the renewal notice to pay dues for the chapter. So I've been a member, and now I'm a member again as of last night when I realized that. So I'm going to use SCASA. I don't know if you guys all use that as the abbreviation, Southern California ASA, but that's what I've always heard it called and what I've always called it. So I go to the next page. Okay, yikes. Okay. So when I learned about ASA chapters, especially when I was ASA president from talking to a lot of people, is first of all, many people in ASA leadership positions got their start with chapter leadership. And that included me. I was the 1977-78 president of the State College, Pennsylvania chapter when I was a graduate student. I guess they got a notice that they were going to be disbanded because they hadn't been active. So my department had asked me if I would like to be the president. So that's how I got my start. I've also discovered that the level of chapter activity is widely variable, and it's a reflection of the chapter leadership. And I really want to applaud SCASA for that because before I moved to Irvine, I was at Davis, and there was really no active ASA chapter there. And when I moved here, all of a sudden, there were all of these ASA activities, chapter activities going on, and it's because of the leadership over the years. And so that's really impressive compared to most other chapters. But I also noticed when I did get invited to visit chapters, there was always a strong sense of community, much more so than in sections. So I think chapters are a really great place for people who maybe can't get to JSM or aren't as involved in the national and international scene to get their sense of community and statistics. So in other words, chapters are a really vital part of ASA. So for the rest of my talk, I'm going to just talk a little bit about the history because I am fascinated by history. So as you all have seen, there was this article in the LA Times. It's really cool that Olga found it. And when I went to find it, she had already clipped it. I saw it can tell you if someone has clipped an article. So this is a little bit of what it said. A number of Los Angeles men interested in professional statistical work have formed the Los Angeles chapter of the American Statistical Association, the only organization of its kind in the United States. Whoops, I have a little typo there. The object of the chapter will be to collect, preserve, etc. So anyway, it's really cool that this was in the LA Times. It then went on to list charter members and the officers and where they worked. So if you haven't seen this article, Olga has put it in the newsletter and posted it somewhere, I think, on the page. So go take a look. It's really fun to read. But then I got curious about other chapters and like how did they develop? And so I went into JASA, which by the way only became JASA in 1922, and they published this page starting in 1929, and it showed the officers of the ASA. And you can see here, there's 5 chapters, and it's kind of weird. I guess San Francisco felt they had to compete with LA because they were one of the 5 chapters. So there's Austin, Cleveland, Columbus, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. And then there were these areas represented in district secretaries, and Boston was there, and I think Washington, D.C. So they weren't officially called chapters. And then you move to 1930, and there's 2 more chapters, Boston and Chicago. So now we're up to, what is it, 7 chapters? And believe me, I'm not going to do every year, but just want to show you the progression here. Then you move to 1931, and now there's a Pittsburgh chapter. So it's interesting where these things kind of cropped up around the country. It wouldn't have been where I would have predicted the original chapters to be. And then finally, I'm just going to jump to 1934, and that'll be the last one I show. So now we've got Albany, Connecticut, and I guess Philadelphia thought they had to compete with Pittsburgh because now they're in the mix as well. So it's just fun to look at the accumulation as chapters started developing and where they developed. But the Los Angeles chapter started it all. I also noticed that the person listed as chapter and district secretary changed every year for the Los Angeles chapter. So I guess that meant they had a really active group and they wanted to all take turns. I don't know. And then the last thing I want to talk about in my time is my own experience with the chapter. And I really want to thank Bob Newcomb. I guess I need to go down a little bit on size here. But Bob Newcomb, many of you knew, he was an amazing guy. He started or helped found all of these things. The Santa Barbara men's volleyball team, the UC Irvine men's volleyball team, which went on to become national champions, the men's collegiate volleyball grants program for the country. Then he founded the UC Irvine Statistical Consulting Center. There was no department at the time. And then he was instrumental in getting a statistics department started here in 2004. And then I know the next one's controversial, but he also started the Orange County Long Beach ASA chapter in actually 2012. It got, I think, finally approved in 2014, but he was instrumental in that as well. So hats off to Bob. He died in 2014, but he was a major force in the Southern California chapter and in lots and lots of other things, as you can see here. So, okay, that's my talk. I'm going to stop sharing and we can move on.
Thank you, Jessica. Very nice. Where did you get the picture of Bob?
And I just did a search and it was in his obituary.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert, you talk. Only 5 minutes, okay? Only 5 minutes. So 107th ASA president in 2012.
Well, I'm very, very happy to be part of this event because I have so many wonderful memories of visiting actually all 3 chapters in Southern California. And in fact, most of my visits were orchestrated by Bob Newcomb, starting in around 2012, when I believe I met Bob at JSM in San Diego. What I'm going to do is show you a picture album with just a few of my memories, and this should be pretty short actually. And I hope you can hear the soundtrack which I made at home.
Could you make a larger screen, no?
Yes, I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, that's it for the slideshow, and I'm happy to contribute the rest of my time to my good friend Sastry.
Thank you very much. I'm Sastry Pantula. I think I'm the 105th ASA president. Good morning again. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to say a few words. Well, maybe more than a few words. As you know, if you give a dean a mic, he'll speak. So as we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Southern California ASA chapter, it is the first ASA chapter, and it's so historic. Even some of our models weren't invented yet when it began, but it continues to be a role model for all ASA chapters. I really appreciate also some of the activities are done virtually, because getting statisticians together in Southern California is not a meeting. It's an all-day experiment in logistical traffic modeling. So this chapter has a lot to be proud of its accomplishments, and we are very proud of them. Think of ASA presidents, ASA fellows, ASA board members, ASA journal editors, etc. came from this chapter, and bring people from various UCs, CSUs, private institutions, and folks from business, industry, and government. I'm not going to name many of the stalwarts, as there are many that made this chapter a great success. But I will name two of them. I think they are the backbone and the heart of the chapter, from my perspective. Harold is certainly the backbone of the chapter. He was the first person to welcome me to Southern California. In fact, he came all the way to Vancouver in August of 2018 JSM, made sure to tell me how excited he is to see me join CSU San Bernardino. He's a dedicated chapter leader, always recruiting, no matter the country, the time zone, or the fine wine line. He invited me to speak at this chapter meeting in my first year. Harold, thank you so much for welcoming and for caring about the profession. The second one I want to mention is Olga is the heart of the chapter and the former president of this chapter. For me, I always look for her very informative and humorous newsletter. I have posted many of her comics and news items on my Instagram. Her newsletter is how I know what wonderful things are happening in Southern California with 250 statisticians around us. Again, thanks, Olga, for all you do every day for this chapter. Keep up the excellent work. As you know, ASA chapters are the grassroots of ASA. They bring together statisticians, data scientists, educators, and students in a given region, allowing people who might not meet nationally or globally to connect locally. Again, I recall many decades ago, when I was a junior faculty member at NC State, the local chapter used to meet at one of the 3 SAS buildings at that time, or at RTI, bringing folks from NC State, UNC, Duke, and many companies and government organizations. Provided excellent networking and mentoring opportunities for me and for our students. I know this chapter does the same. I know the future is brighter for young statisticians. Like I was mentioning earlier, our daughter Asha now is a PhD student at statistics at UC Irvine. I mean, she got her undergraduate degree from UCR in math with a stat minor, and knows statisticians like Dr. Subir Ghosh, who taught me in India, and Dr. Dan Jeske, who was my classmate at Iowa State. This chapter, like others, provides professional development, promoting the practice and the profession of statistics, career development, reaching out to high school students, bringing national leaders, and excite people with data challenges. Again, this chapter helps amplify the broader mission of ASA, turning statistical science into something that benefits human welfare, public policy, research, business, education, and more. We want to have healthy people living on a healthy planet in a healthy economy. By being active locally, it helps ensure the statistical thinking doesn't remain just academic, but is applied to real local issues with education, public health, social sciences, and policy making. This chapter generates a pipeline of new statisticians, data scientists, from students to professionals, helping sustain and grow the profession over generations. Again, thanks again to the past, current, and future leaders in statistics for our profession to thrive, not just survive. Here is to another 100 years of success and for increasing trust in data, trust in statistics, trust in science, and trust in human beings. I mean, this is particularly important at this time, given the challenges coming from trusted agencies like BLS, CDC, Department of Education, FDA, and other TLAs. I really appreciate what ASA is doing with regards to advocacy for statistics. Keep an eye out for the special report coming out next week, the Nation's Data at Risk 2025 report. Again, I want to also congratulate to ASA for receiving the Advocacy Award last month in St. Louis from the Council of Colleges of Arts and Science Deans. They really appreciate the advocacy that ASA is doing. I know I'm between you and Ron, so I'll stop here. Keep up the excellent work. Thank you again. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Sastry. Yeah, we have like a few minutes of if we have questions. Answers for the 3 minutes. I think you can just unmute yourself and ask. Yeah. Wait, Rodney, if you're saying something, unmute yourself.
I just
Hi, I have a question.
Oh, sorry. Go.
Okay, quick question. Washington or the DC chapter, was that the first chapter or what's the relationship with ASA? I didn't see it on Jessica's listing from the.
Oh, it came up
times.
right after. It was 1926, I guess, when they formed. But they were not official chapter, but they are one of the largest ones now, with like 700 members. That's what I know.
The story I heard was that they had formed a society before we did not become a chapter before we did for the ASA. So they may be older, but we're the oldest chapter.
Yeah, so I didn't show you the rest of the page on the editorial thing, but there's another section called Area Represented and District Secretary. And I'm just looking at it now. So for example, in 1930, it lists Detroit and vicinity, Pittsburgh and vicinity, and Washington and vicinity. So they were just considered areas represented with a district secretary at that time, not chapters.
Ah. Thanks.
Anna, you had a question, no?
Oh no, I just really enjoyed the historical overview and all the slides that you guys put together, even with the documentation of all the past histories and all the presidents who have served so hard in the past. It was really touching.
I like the quotes. We will have a recording. Everything is recorded, so that's really nice. We can always go back. Should we continue? Should we listen to Ron? Just give me a second, because if you want, I can put that in chat so that you have his recording. I don't know how humongous it is. Just give me a second. because I don't know how good the quality will be of the, just
go with the flow, Olga.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let me just, well, maybe later I'll put it then in. Okay, I will share the screen. Just give me a second. Well, okay, so listen.
Hello, friends. This is Ron Wasserstein, Executive Director of the American Statistical Association, bringing you greetings on my behalf and on behalf of the Board of Directors of the American Statistical Association on your 100th anniversary as a chapter. I'm sorry I can't join you in person or online. I will be attending a memorial service at the same time that you are seeing this video. But I am grateful for the opportunity to say a few words nonetheless, because this is a big deal that you have reached this milestone. It's a big deal because founding the chapter 100 years ago was a visionary choice by the people who did it. The ASA would not be what it is today without chapters. And a few years after chapters started being founded, we began to have sections as well. And it's impossible to imagine what ASA would be without those entities today. So there's some real foresight on the part of the people who founded this chapter so many years ago. Just think about that, 1925. How much has changed in our profession over that time? Probably you are aware that the first edition of Fisher's book, Statistical Methods for Research Workers, was released in that year, in the year 1925. And that was a highly influential book, and so much has changed and continues to rapidly change in our profession. And the Southern California chapter has been along for that ride all these many years. It's happened because many, many people, your current leadership, and tracing all the way back 100 years, many people have devoted themselves to the well-being of the chapter. And so we want to take a moment here to acknowledge all those people. You have been doing a great job of that through your newsletter, in interviews with people who have served as leaders of the chapter. It's been quite inspiring to see that and to realize how many people over the years have contributed so that you could arrive at this 100th birthday. So I hope this is an occasion for joy, something to savor and celebrate reaching this milestone. It's a wonderful thing, and we're all grateful for it. The Board of Directors of the ASA has on several occasions acknowledged the importance of the Southern California chapter in reaching this milestone. And it's a big deal for me too, because, well, I'm sure you know I love all things ASA, and I'm super excited about such a birthday. Congratulations, everyone. I wish you well. And I hope to see you in January when I'm out your way for the Biostatistics Symposium. Take care, everyone, and have a great holiday season.
Stop sharing. Okay, so I mean, if you want this video, was it like fine? Could you hear it?
Yes, I could.
Okay, I'll just drop it into chat for everyone, because it's should be fine. Only 7 megabytes. You're welcome to download. Okay, so what Ron was talking about is about leadership. I mean, he mentioned, right? So that's our next move. And we have our leadership corner. Ernest, you talk. So Ernest Scheuer was, you just recently retired, or you're not retired yet from CSUN? And you was CASA president in 1971-72. And then Subir, you talk. You were our president in 1993-1994. And I don't know if you're retired yet from UCR, maybe not, hopefully not. And then Joyce, you talk. You were at City of Hope. You're not retired, I believe, right?
Okay, can you hear me? I see a symbol for the microphone with a slash through it. I'm also hearing myself several times. Do you hear me?
Ernie, are you on the phone as well as the computer, perhaps?
Chat.
Okay, I think your speaker is too close to your microphone.
Okay.
But Ernest is like, I think he's muted now.
There's two of him on the Zoom call.
I think he's on the phone as well as computer.
Yeah, so I think there's a feedback.
Can you hear me now?
No, it's echoing pretty badly.
Well, I mean, I can hear you for sure, but is it okay if you shut down the other computer?
Okay, I have my laptop.
He just needs to mute the other one, I think.
There is not another computer on.
Your phone is on?
Yes, I can turn it off. Okay, the phone is off. Does that make a difference?
No, so muting is not enough. You have to also do disconnect all audios from other phones. Just muting is not enough. You have to disconnect the audios.
I have a friend here. Hold on a minute.
Okay, let me finish. So Joyce, so you talk. So first Ernest talks, then Subir, and then Joyce, you talk, right? You're not retired yet, right? I mean, not even close from City of Hope.
And now I'm still working there full time.
You're working full time. And you were 1996, 1997 president of SCASA.
Right. Would you like me to go ahead and speak while he's getting...
Ernest, you want somebody else to speak meanwhile? No?
You're addressing yes, please. Apparently this is not working at my end.
I think the easiest thing for Ernest is so Olga, do you see how Ernest has two screens on his, like on the Zoom call? There's two of him.
Okay.
I think he should kick out the one that is blank, that doesn't have his image on it.
Okay,
or his video, and then the one that he's currently on his
I'll
computer, he
mute
can
it.
unmute
So
that.
I'll mute that one and I'll request to unmute the other.
Yes. I had a second screen.
So you might need to mute, and then if you can unmute the one where he's actually showing his face, that might help. But that might actually just keep the same problem, because I think the issue is that the sound's going in two ways. So I think it actually is better to just kick out the one that doesn't have his face on it, and then keep the one that has his face on it and have him unmute that.
How about now?
No, yeah, Eric, I agree with you. Are you able to kick out that one, and does that affect, like, do you need the second account in there for any reason, Ernest?
Well, I've muted one of the screens with my name on it, but it doesn't work. Listen, let me not waste time here for you. Best wishes to everyone, and I'm just going to sign off. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. It's good to see you.
And you all.
Yeah, the modern technology.
Well, wait, now I saw his other one disappear. I wonder, can you try and speak once more, Ernest?
And can you unmute the computer and try again, Ernest? It might be better.
He just disappeared.
There. Try it now.
So you're just muted now, but yeah.
Just unmute, Ernie.
Okay.
There you go.
You hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
All
Good job.
right. Sorry for all the background. Olga, thank you very much for unearthing me. I was a chapter president some years ago. I don't even recall when. I've been retired since 1993, and I have not been professionally active really since that time. But I do remember times with the chapter, we had people from various aspects of Southern California industry and academia. We had people from financial industry, someone from the, I think it's called American Mutual Fund. We had a person from the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. We had people from different colleges and universities in Southern California. What was interesting was where we met. As I recall, we did not meet in a university. We generally met at restaurants. So there, one interesting aspect, we arranged, usually a restaurant with a meeting room, and we arranged for a meeting room at a restaurant in Chinatown. Well, we got there, and the police department, some aspect of the police department, had overridden us. I guess they were, the restaurant management knew where their bread was buttered and gave the room to the police agency, whatever it was. And so they put us in the bar. I don't recall who the speaker was, but he had quite a job overcoming the sound from the mixer, making fancy drinks, and the whir of the mixer interrupted. That was really quite amusing, except for the speaker experience. I was not aware that the Southern California chapter was the first chapter of the ASA. 100 years is a long time, but the American Statistical Association was formed in 1839. Other than the Franklin Institute, it's the oldest professional organization in the United States. So while 100 years is a long time, there could well have been chapters before that, given the age of the association. I'll just close with an amusing anecdote. I gave a talk about some work that my friend and colleague Paul Bowerman and I did at JPL. So Paul and I showed up. This was in the days before slim laptops. My first computer was a Compaq, C-O-M-P-A-Q. It was called a portable computer, but it was really called luggable. It was very heavy. My wife said it looked like a Singer sewing machine. It had a little screen, monochrome, green letters. So I had made some slides and was going to show them on this little screen that we could huddle around. Well, the thing is, I forgot to bring the cord for the computer, so that had to take some workaround to get the ideas across. Anyway, thank you for the opportunity to participate today, and best wishes, and many more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ernest. Thank you. Yay. Subir, you're up next.
Oh.
So let me reintroduce you. You were our president 1993, 1994. And I believe you're still very much active at UCR, right?
Oh,
And you just published a book.
I will tell you during my talk. And please wait few seconds and I will be there. Now, can you see my screen?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. we have talked about the chapter leaderships, and here we have a collection of great leaders at this meeting, and there are some were chapter presidents and other positions. They were very active. So this is the list that I got from the internet, and this is the great list that we have, and starting from there to the end where we discussed. Let me go to, yeah, that would be easy now for me to move. Yeah. So 1925-26, that was the starting point, and in some form, and then it developed. There were challenges of the chapter. At the time I joined UCR in 1980, that time the challenges were like how many people would be attending the chapter meeting. And then the leadership worked hard on it, and they did a lot of things, but there were challenges all the time, even now. And you all contributed different way to the chapter, so we are all grateful to you. So the question would be that what are the qualities of the chapter leaders? And so let us investigate that, and that I will be doing. So what are the good qualities of a president of the SCASA? So this inclusiveness, caring, passionate, influential, selflessness, then humble, and the other high qualities in leadership. Leadership is an important topic of research in psychology and business and in many other areas. And people work on it, and they identify some of the important areas that leaders should develop and contribute. And all the leaders I see in SCASA and also SA, they have a lot of good qualities, but not a single person has all the qualities we can think of. And so the issues would be that what are the major things, and scientists, they list a few important things like 12 important qualities of leaders. Now, next thing I would be talking about the Bob Newcomb's story, and Jessica already mentioned that, but it will come to me in more detail. So please read the red ones, and you'll see the leadership things highlighted in the his leadership, not only as in SCASA, but also as in our profession, that he contributed a lot of things, including volleyball that Jessica mentioned, that we see. There are a few other things that here UCI men's volleyball head coach David Neffin mentioned, that he was so inclusive. so caring, so passionate. His influence will live on like infinite ripples on an infinite pond. Then he mentioned he moved by his selfness, then so humble. So these are qualities that we see in Bob Newcomb, ways he shaped our life that no one knew about. But he was also the leader in how and why of his leadership. This is Bob Newcomb. He inspired me when I came here. We needed people to attend the chapter meetings, and he used to come and sit by me and used to talk a lot of things, and he was very friendly. And he was, in fact, one of the most friendliest person in the chapter meeting. And so I was attracted to him for various reasons. Let us show some of his things. This is another picture that I got from UCI, but I like this one. Like, if you look at this picture, then you will think that he is present in front of us. He's waving us. So this photo is very near and dear to me. Okay, now 12 characteristics of a good leader, and this is an infographic and from the Center of Creative Leadership. Self-awareness, respect, compassion, vision, communication, learning, agility, collaboration, influence, integrity, courage, gratitude, resilience. But you may or may not agree that about these first 12, but you'll agree to the most of the points here that they are important thing. But then I also collected another set of 12 important qualities. Let me bring them to you. Necessary qualities of a good leader: integrity, inspiration, communication skills, vision, resilience, intuition, empathy, fairness, intelligence, creativity, patience, and last, flexible. So all these things are important, and there are research on the emotional and social intelligence. So these are part of different things. And I'm sure that the leaders, future leaders, will look into them and develop more skills and more things for benefit of the chapter and in general for all of us. Thank you all. So I'd like to stop here.
Thank you. Thank you, Sudhir. Thank you. Joyce, you're up next. We're eating into our break, actually, but that's okay. That's okay. We can still have a break. Maybe curtail it a little bit.
Oh, thank you, Olga. I'll be brief. I don't have any slides today, but I really appreciate the opportunity to come and talk and congratulate SCASA on 100 years. I had no idea, actually, that it was the first chapter. That's wonderful. So I was the president in 96, 97, as Olga said. And before that, I think I was the vice president of professional affairs in 95, 96. And I was very proud then to be elected to vice president of the ASA. in that was when 2003 to 2005. So that I think this, my work here with SCASA really helped propel that move, and to become an elected fellow of ASA in 1998. As everybody's been saying, the organization has amazing volunteerism. I mean, this group just puts so much heart and work into it. And Olga, you've been very, very helpful with all of your newsletters, and all the past presidents. Great friends and colleagues that I've made, including Ernest. I've known him for many, many years. And fostering careers, I think, is so important from the SCASA. As Bonnie mentioned, the 45th workshop was just held at City of Hope, which is where I work. And that kind of got started when I joined City of Hope and was the president of this association. I started hosting it there, and then Andy Dagus took it over. I don't know if many of you know him, and he has continued the tradition and really helps to foster people in their careers, have workshops and CV building and on all of this. So I've really enjoyed my career as a biostatistician at City of Hope. I've been there for 38 years, and I am still working full time, although from home now. It's a dry lab, so I can work anywhere. And then I also got very involved in biomedical informatics, and I like to say now it resonates with people more. I call myself a data scientist, and I think we're all data scientists, and I think it's a very critical field that all of you are involved in. I was also happy to be appointed as the chair of biostatistics, first female chair at City of Hope. So I think it was great that they were recognizing biostatistics and made it into an actual department, and that I finally kind of broke the glass ceiling in terms of the chairship going to a female. I think our field is critical to the progress of all of society, as some of you have been saying. And as Sastry said, it's a fundamental building block across all the fields. I saw Madeline put in the chat that, what we really need is healthy data, and that's absolutely correct. And I agree with Sally Morton's quote and all the quotes that have been given before. We are a bridge across all fields. It was interesting to see Subir's slides that most of the early presidents seemed to be in finance and economics, but now we span academia and medicine and all the areas, sociology, everything. And finally, I'd just like to say that I'm really grateful to this profession because it led me to my wonderful husband, Stan Azen, who some of you may know, and he's also a biostatistician. He did all his graduate work at UCLA, and then astoundingly went over to USC, the rival across town, and founded biostatistics at USC, although he called it biometry to try to make it a little distinct. Now that means a different thing, biometrics, so it's been changed now. But and Ernest, he told me on one of the earliest computers, the Johnniac, which is now in the Smithsonian University. So I think he's kind of got you beat with the luggable computer. And I remember having some of the officer meetings at our home in Pasadena. I don't know if some of you were there, plenty of wine flowing, no bars, but it was nice to host everybody there. So he's still here with me in Santa Barbara. We get to live here, and I still get to work in this wonderful profession and call all of you as colleagues. So thank you very much. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you. Thank you, Joyce. So
I'd like to add one line here that when Joyce used to come to the chapter meeting, he used to bring Stan too, and they were together most of the time, I remember. And there were many contributors in the chapter meetings, like Harold. I do not have to mention the name. He would be in all the meetings, so even to our department seminars and so on. And last comment I would make that I would answer Olga's question, I forgot. There is one similarity between Bob Newcomb and me. I found out just yesterday. He served UCI 45 years. And I also served UCR 45 years. I retired in July 1, 2025. So now I'm retired emeritus faculty member of the department. Thank you.
That's great.
So well, I'm taking a quick break. It's actually technically ends now, but we can take like a 5-minute break, a bathroom break, or we can chat or whatever. Reconvene in 5 minutes, 11:10. And that's when I'm gonna pause, okay, Alex? I'm gonna pause so that it's a new file, right? As recording.
No. So to pause, then when you resume, you will append it. I think you need to stop, right? Yeah, stop and then
I'll stop recording. Okay,
yeah,
I'll stop recording. Okay.
yeah, and then you restart it. Then it will be a separate file.